Naona wengine watu wetu wamepotea, wanaongea mambo ya uchaguzi ya 2032. Those are people who are lost. We are only 1 year in office. How can you discuss 2032? Even 2027 is a premature debate. Si ndio? Mimi sitaki mtu anihusishe kwa hiyo debate ya 32 na nini. I am busy. We have no time to engage into useless and productive debates about 2032. Is premature, is unnecessary, is a misadventure.
Welcome back. That is Deputy President speaking yesterday, insinuating that he is not interested in the conversation about the future elections. But Honorable Koech, let me ask you this, because the country was getting prepared for elections of UDA 9th of December. Now you hear they are off the table up until April, and actually that will be done in clustered format, 3 subsequent weeks. What led to this? Why aren't you having the elections as scheduled?
Thank you, Sam. Elections were just slightly moved forward because of the situation in the country. Number one is, of course, the El Nino disaster that is happening. It will be very insensitive for we, the politicians, to campaign at the backdrop of a nation that is suffering the effects of flooding and excess rainfall. It will not have made sense, and we thought it fair that we suspend it until April. 2 is because also key players in this exercise who are going to be politicians, and many of us are going to leave shortly for the East African Assembly Games in Rwanda. So many people will be participating in Rwanda as well. But largely it is because...
When are the games?
The games shall begin in early December.
Okay.
So largely it is because of that. And most importantly, December also is a season where families will want to reconnect. And it will be unfair
just 1 day
to run around with, you have to campaign. Election is a process, a long process. You have to campaign for seats. And it was going to be a democratic process. So we actually, in our last PG, we requested the president that because of what is happening in the country at the moment, it was only fair to move forward the election to a later date.
So the reason is the rains, the traveling to Rwanda, as well as DEC is a family month.
Yeah, it will have been insensitive. Largely it's because of the El Nino rains. We as politicians are needed to support people who are suffering on the ground.
Okay.
We will not have wanted to be going around and campaigning, looking at what is happening. It is only fair that we...
How will you be supporting the people on the ground?
There are so many things. CDF does so many things. They a lot of emergency works. If you're aware, there are schools that roofs are being removed by wind and heavy rains. It is a responsibility also to check on that. And it is also a responsibility just to be there for people so that we can highlight the challenges that they're going through on the ground. Like Chomba did say, there are so many issues that are happening that will need interventions. So part of that is we as politicians being there with the people.
Mheshimiwa Koech, is most likely there will be rains in April 2024. Will you postpone again?
We will not postpone. They're not going to be as heavy as we are experiencing now.
That.
We will not postpone elections again. We just allowed it for a short time.
Koech, what is the real reason that the UDA elections are postponed?
There is no reason whatsoever. UDA, in fact, registration of members is ongoing. You've seen our numbers have gone up our registration numbers in Homa Bay have gone up.
How is the registration being done?
So far, it's online. You just go and register online.
How was the election going to be done?
It was going to be done online. It was going to be electronic voting.
So what is wrong with the rains?
No, that's what I'm saying. It was going to be insensitive for us as a country. Sam, I don't know why you want to politicize these elections. There was absolutely no reason other than what I've told you, that we suspended it. And I'm part of the people. I attended that PG when we requested the president that please, it will be insensitive for our people to continue.
How many members
campaigning.
do you have, UDA?
I am not certain of the numbers now, but I'm sure that it is more than 10 million members that we have currently.
10 million?
Yeah.
How many members constitute the PG?
The PG is all elected leaders constitute part of the PG.
The ones that met the president, how many were you?
We were senators and members of National Assembly.
How many?
More than 200.
So how are you comparing the interest of 200 people versus 10 million members?
We speak for the people, Sam. When I speak the feelings of the people of Belgut. They don't have to.
But you've not been elected to do that.
That is so. Most of them are.
You've not been elected as a UDA official.
But I'm an interim official. So if I'm an interim official, I still express myself just the same way I would have expressed myself if I was elected official. So, and to cut a long story short, Sam, I'm telling you that we suspended it because we want to deal with what is ravaging the country. We also want to make sure that people are comfortable, and we have registered as many people as possible to participate in that process. We want to have a big party. We want to have a party with a vision. We want to make sure that people that are elected are going to represent the ideals of our party, and that is why we are doing that.
Senator Otsotsi, it has never been easy to conduct grassroots elections in this country, and I think it's only one political party that has done that. It should be your party, ODM.
Well,
Jubilee had intentions to do that. They never did. What are you dealing with, and why is it always such a serious and sensitive issue?
well, maybe let me start by acknowledging that UDA, the very good reason why they postponed the election is because of various issues, not the issues that Nelson is talking about. One is the ground is very hostile to UDA because of cost of living. So I think it's only fair for them to postpone the election so that they don't face those challenges on the ground. Number two, we know there are internal competition within UDA. There are people who are saying we want this seat, the others are saying this region must get this, and some you have been here. You have read in the media, you have seen on television, Mount Kenya saying they must have SG position and they also must have the one position for deputy president. So they have their own challenge. Deputy
party leader, you mean?
Yeah, deputy party leader. Mm-hmm. So they have their own challenges. It's not about El Nino, as he says, no. El Nino cannot make everything to stop. Life has to go on, and one of the things that has to go on is election. But for us in ODM, you know, ODM made an announcement that we are going to have our election in February. And we have launched recruitment drives. We are doing that in every county. And we are moving on. And I think one of the reasons why UDA decided to postpone the election is because they want to learn from ODM. You know, ODM is the only party that attempts to do party elections. We have done party elections before, we are experienced, and it's only fair for them to wait for us to do in February so that they can do theirs in April. So I think they have a lot of things to learn from us on how to conduct elections, and we are going to teach them how to do it. So I think for us, we are prepared. The only single organized political party in this country is the Orange Democratic Movement, with the structures from the polling station all the way to the national. So what we are doing is that we are simply asking our members to verify their membership and also to recruit new members and then hold elections from the polling station all the way to the national level.
Okay.
And that is something we have done it before. This is not the first time. We have had parties who have come. You remember Jubilee, the original Jubilee, that merged and became one party, merging 13 parties. They promised to do election. They never did election. UDA has promised to do election. We are waiting to see whether they will do credible election. But from the scenes I see, even in my own county, I remember about 2 weeks ago, they called a meeting of UDA in a big hall in Mbale. And it was pathetic because just a handful of people attended. That is a clear sign. That
how do you know that? You didn't attend, did you?
No, I did attend, but all over, my ears and my eyes are all over the county. I know what is happening. And I know they have been having problems recruiting people to join UDA. in my own county in Vihiga, and I think elsewhere in Western Province. So they are free to do elections, but I am sure they're going to have a lot of problems because there is nothing they have to show as a government. All the promises they made.
Senator, I hear you, Senator. We'll get to that. But Honorable Koech, I don't know, because he raises an issue that has actually been raised by Mount Kenya region, them insisting they want the deputy party leader and has to be one, and the position of Secretary General. But then again, this election had been announced by the president as the party leader 9th of September. It was to happen on 9th of December, 3 months apart. So there's still no assurance that even if you move it to April, that it's going to happen.
I think
what is the contribution of these concerns, at least from Mount Kenya, in postponement of these elections?
That is the essence of democracy. Mount Kenya should demand. I mean, there's no reason. Any other region should also demand for the same. That is the essence of democracy. It is for people to come out competitively and demand the seats that they want. I agree with Mount Kenya when they demand for the second party, the second rank in the party's hierarchy. It is perfectly okay with them. And they are saying we have our numbers. They have an argument. Western also has an argument on why they feel that they should have the position of the Secretary General. So everyone, and that is a fight within UDA that is very healthy. Healthy competition is what we want. I want to disagree with Honorable Sotsi on
So what is the contribution of that to postponement of this election?
There are so many things that are happening. You must remember also that, like the president did indicate, that we're still talking to our other Kenya Kwanza parties that are within, so that we can have one formidable party. We have Ford Kenya, we have ANC. The president had indicated that there is still willingness to try and talk to them so that they can fold up their party and we have one party. That probably could be what is also happening between this space. So there are so many things that are happening within our party. And to tell Honorable Sotsi that it is not a general election, it is a party election. To say that people won't turn out or the ground is hostile is...
So Honorable Koech, why didn't you tell me that when I asked you?
Doesn't make sense at all, because it is the members who are going to vote. So if you're already a member, then you believe in the ideals of UDA. ODM has never, ever conducted a successful election. It should not even be used. There is no election in ODM. It is rewarding people the way you feel like. Look at how many people, so many people are popular on the ground. But if you do not have the ODM certificate, ask Honorable Sotsi how the certificates were dished out in the last general elections. Many of my friends lost out because they just were not in favor of the party and the owners of the party.
You can't allow him to go.
It is a personal party. There have never been elections.
Party primaries. Let's talk about the party elections.
Yes.
And you've just told me that the president indicated, your words,
yes,
that he's waiting for Ford Kenya and ANC to decide on whether to fold up or not.
Yes.
So that could be a reason why you're postponing the election.
It is not the reason. I'm just saying there are so many things that are happening between that space. There was no hurry on why we should do an election. It is our internal party issues. We can decide to do election at any time without conditions from anyone other than the party members.
When the party leader announced this on 9th of September, he didn't know about this.
He had consulted. We want to finish up with the issues of elections once and for all, so that no one is holding office in interim. We want to have a big party.
We want to build an office. You're not in a hurry to do it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying if issues that precede our political party's election come in, it is important as a country also. This is a governing party. We cannot be insensitive to people. We cannot have floods in the country and still go ahead and say we must hold elections. No. The prevailing conditions in the country must be respected. And we think it is unfair to hold our election in December amidst the flooding and El Nino ravaging.
Honorable Koech, you're confusing me this morning because...
I am a party member, Sam. You are not a party member of UDA. I am telling you, as a very respectable and authoritatively member of UDA, that is why we are postponing our elections.
Let's listen to what the president said about what's going on in the country in as far as management of national affairs.